Let's get it. We're back again. Another episode of Strength We Trust.
Yes, sir.
My name is Michael Sept. My partner in crime always Rashawn English, and we have our first official guest.
Honored
to have him on here. Really look up to this individual here. Like, really proud to see how far he's come over the years. And my man Jason Lacayo. It's a pleasure to have you on, brother.
Pleasure to be here.
Absolutely,
pleasure
man.
to be here, fellas.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. And as always, man, we're just here to promote healthier patterns of life, giving you guys tools and aspects to apply to things just to make your life a little bit better. And that's really what it's all about. And yeah, man, go ahead, Rashawn. We're going to dive right in. How's things going, man? Everything good?
Everything is amazing. Because like you said, we got our first guest. We listen, I'm so excited to have you on. Man. I've looked you up. You've been podcasting for a little bit. We're new to the game.
Yeah, I got a little skin in the game.
I love your story. Police officer, SWAT team, not just regular. Not a regular police officer, SWAT team. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but it's high level.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fitness enthusiast, avid CrossFitter. I see you cycling too. I'm about to get my bike.
Yo, let me tell you, that's a game changer, man.
I'm about to get my bike.
You got game changer, humbling too.
You got to give me the guide to a good bike.
I got you, yeah, for sure.
And I'm gonna join the biking community. I said running. No, I was just playing.
We're not running like that. We're
not running. But on top of that, mental health advocate.
Yes, sir.
And also, let's not forget sneaker enthusiasts.
Oh, absolutely, man.
I mean, they don't call you
man. From day one,
they don't call you the real Jumpman Jay for no reason.
I got the nickname, man. My kick game. So
yeah, man. Oh, I love that. You expect your bars on here. Hold on. But yeah, man. Fill us in. Tell the people a little bit more about you if they don't already know you. What would you like them to know? Let's start there.
Okay. Well, I'm 41 years old. Most people look at me and be like, "You 40-something?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm 41 years old, man." And most people look at me and think I'm this like young cat. I'm not, man. I'm a seasoned vet to this. But I was born in the Bronx. Then I moved to Yonkers when I was like 13. And then, I'm the son of two immigrants. Both my parents are from Honduras. Most people don't know that. So that's for people who don't know where that is. That's in Central America. Yes, there's Afro-Latinos in Central America and South America.
You speak Spanish?
Yeah. I'm fluent enough where I can get by. My parents, were born there. Yeah, so that adds to the flavor. I always say.
Little spice.
You sit in a room, somebody start talking shit, and you be like, "Word," and then, that adds to it. And was in sports since day one. I took Taekwondo. That was like my first thing. My parents are from a Spanish-speaking country, so my first sport was soccer. So I ran with that till I was about 11, and then some dude saw me and was like, "Yo, you too big to be playing soccer. Let's get you in some football." So started playing some Pop Warner football, and then middle school football, got to high school, and was playing football, but then I found rollerblading.
Yeah,
he gets busy. He gets busy.
Yeah,
he gets busy.
And so I was kind of splitting time between the two, but I really fell in love with the rollerblading, so I kind of took that on full circle. And I
rollerblade too, by the way. You remember when I had the rollerblades?
Oh, I remember. He used to get.
I had one of my clients get to me some rollerblades, and I was up and down
man. That's another workout that people don't know too much about.
Don't sleep on it.
Yeah,
don't sleep on it.
Yeah, man. I tell people all the time, man. You got to broaden your horizons. Most people think rollerblading, what do you do with that? I was going up and down ramps and grinding handrails and all kinds of crazy shit. So I did that, and then still kept in contact with like my sports, but I was really focused on like the rollerblading. So I had some stuff happen in school where I was trying college. I was a young impressionable kid, and I was out here acting crazy, trying to be a tough guy. I got a little jammed up, but not to the point where I couldn't salvage myself a career. So I ended up becoming a police officer at like 21, and I've been doing that ever since, man. So I got 18. Tomorrow is 18 years in. So I got 24 months left, and I can retire. Then I can really do what I really love, which is the fitness stuff, man. So
yeah, that's awesome.
I coach high school football. I got a couple of youth athletes that I work with on a weekly basis. Mm-hmm. So, I'm doing that, man.
Yeah, but you haven't, put fitness aside. I see you. You move weight. I saw you deadlift 610 pounds.
Oh, yeah. I don't play games, man. Like we were talking about this off camera. It was, I can't imagine my life without moving my body. And strength training has been a crucial part of my life. It has helped me exponentially. And that's why when I saw you guys with the podcast, I'm like, yo, man, I love what these dudes are talking about. like-minded individuals need to get in the room and have conversations like
Right,
this, especially men of color.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have to say
absolutely,
that.
man. And it's crazy because, offline and everything like that, as individuals, like we all talk about lifting.
Oh yeah.
We all do this. Like, yo, what'd you do yesterday? How's your training going? How much did you lift? What are you working on now? Like we talk about this stuff
Mhm.
online on a regular basis anyway.
Mhm.
So I think that's why it's cool to have somebody like yourself come on, because it's like it doesn't just affect like your gym. Like this is directly connected to everything you're doing every single day.
Absolutely.
And that's what we really want to get across to people is like how strength training can have such a positive effect on every single thing that you do every day.
A lot of my closest friends I built through fitness.
Training.
Fitness, I would say that, man. I
Yeah.
met
Even
great people
outside
in
of the
this space.
gym and sports, like my
Yeah.
closest friends,
Yep.
the foundation of our relationship was fitness and
Yeah.
movement.
Absolutely.
You know,
I mean, look, we sitting here right now doing this podcast together, and we met through training, and it's
a beautiful
crazy.
thing, man.
It
Absolutely,
is, it
right?
is.
Yeah. And what I love about it too is with training is you're never gonna let the next person fall off too much, right? Because we all gonna go through ups and downs when it comes to our health and our well-being. We all
Yep.
do.
Mhm.
Nobody's perfect 24/7, right?
Ebbs and flows.
And I think that's why training is so important, because the people that you're training around and with, you keep each other like on point to a certain degree. You're not gonna tell somebody what to do every day, but if anybody falls off for like, yo, where you been all week? Or where you been at this last month?
yeah.
What you been doing? And that's what I love about training, because we talk ish to each other.
Mhm.
Like, yo, you slacking, you looking like trash. Like, yeah, we talking ish, but
Even
we really,
last week we spoke on the phone. You told me the number on the scale. I don't care about your injury. You better do something.
yeah.
you better do something.
Right. But I love that though, because it's like, yeah, we joking around, but we care.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? We care.
And you get that. You understand
and
where
we
it's coming
understand
from.
that. And I think people need to get that across them, is that like, you don't want to be intimidated when you're around these new people.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, you might walk into a gym or a CrossFit gym or a yoga class. I don't care what you're doing when you walk into something. There's going to be people that are in the environment and room that are better than you at all times. You're never going to be the best at all times.
It's impossible.
It's
to be the-
impossible
it's
to be.
impossible.
So that's why I love strength training, because you're always a student. You're never a teacher. Always.
Facts.
So
And-
now that we brought that up, I want to make this about you, right? So this is Strength We Trust. What does strength mean to Jason Lacayo?
It is the foundation of everything I do. To me, it means waking up and just being 1% better than I was the day before. That's all it really comes down to. You know what I mean? Like just trying to outdo myself. I only compete with myself. I don't run a race looking to the left and the right of me. I just look forward and concentrate on what I need to do.
Mhm.
And that's how I get from point A to point B. Sometimes it's good to have people to compare yourself to, but you can't always do that. You need
Right.
to have your eyes set on your journey. Don't
Right.
worry about what the next man's doing. As long as, like I said, you're being better than you were the day before. Like I'm a big Kobe guy.
Mhm.
Kobe's a big 1% guy. Like,
Mhm.
like if I show up at the gym, an hour earlier than the next guy, then I got a little bit of an edge on him. And
Yeah.
I noticed that, and Mike can attest to this, because like I met Mike on the football field.
Yes. Yeah.
And the first time I saw this cat, they were like, yo, man, we're waiting for this dude, Iron Mike, to show up. And I'm like, Iron Mike? Who is this?
Iron Mike.
I'm thinking there's going to be some Mike Tyson looking dude. So he pull up. And when I'm telling you, this dude put on a clinic, this kid put on a clinic, man. Like he's probably, and I mean this in all sincerity, probably one of the best athletes I've ever seen in person. And I've been around some like dogs. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I seen Nate Robinson in person, and not for nothing, that dude, I seen him on the flag football field, and I seen him play basketball. And that dude was crazy. You right up there with him, man. You a freak athlete.
I appreciate that, bro.
He humble as hell too.
I know,
Don't let
I know.
him fool you. This dude is a dog.
What's your little hands?
I make do, man. I make do with what God gave me, man.
This dude is a dog. So like I met him on the football field, and he was one of the guys where I was like, he made me better, because I saw the way he operated, and I was like, all right, man, well, if I'm gonna be on the team with this cat, then I gotta step my shit up. So,
Yeah.
I was in there just kind of chasing him, and
Yeah,
and
nah,
then
it's
we
full
grew a
circle.
friendship out of that, you
Yeah.
know. So
It came full circle, because I it's crazy, because like the football field has always been like my thing. It's always been my getaway. And then we started following each other, and I started seeing like your training videos, and I was like, oh, that's how he be lifting dudes out the gym. I'm like, oh, okay. Like he's an animal. Like he's not playing with cats. And so when I started watching his videos, like you said, it's like it wasn't like I was watching like as like looking at you to the side. It was more like I need to take what he's doing so I can get back to what I like to do.
What year was it that you guys met?
6 years and 6, 7.
Yeah, about 6 or
7.
Were we already working out together then?
Yeah, but like, you know, I'm a late bloomer in the gym. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
I'm telling
Oh,
you,
that's
when I
crazy,
met him,
dog.
he was a $195.
Yeah.
Just an athlete.
I was a late bloomer. Yeah.
He
I
was
was
I would have never guessed that, bro.
Just
Yeah.
slim dude, just super athletic.
Yeah,
so
this dude
they
is
actually
freakishly
introduced me to
athletic.
weights.
Okay.
And so I was probably like 2 years in, but 2 years in is really nothing on the grand scheme of things by the time we met in terms of lifting.
Yeah.
So
I was probably like 7, 8 years into
right. So he's well ahead of me.
Okay.
And so that's what I found was like, I was like, oh nah, like that's what it's supposed to look like. That's what training's supposed to look like for an athlete.
and I watched you add it to your game.
And then
And I watched how it transformed you on the field.
I got
It
better.
was different.
Yeah.
It was
I
different.
mean, it's different, bro.
So I like we said, man, like what I was saying earlier is that like I love training because of the effect that we have on everybody around us.
Facts.
Like I don't love training just for me. Like we talk about this all the time on other episodes. Like, you know, I'm a fat man, man. I like to eat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so
Same here, man.
I like to eat, but I love seeing all my people around me and how they train and how they operate and how it affects people close to them. And I'm like, oh, I can't fall off. Like, I can't fall off. I got too many people that might be watching me.
Yep.
Or might be listening to me or might be listening to us. And so like we can't fall off the bandwagon. And that's what I love about you, man. It's like, yo, the age doesn't matter, the experience doesn't matter, the education, wherever you've gotten, you still hit the pavement just like it's day one.
Yes, sir.
But 41, wow.
Yeah, man. Just
Wow,
turned
you
41
don't
in June,
look
man.
like 41 at all.
Listen, I pray I stay like this for a little bit, man, because
Hey, black don't crack, baby.
It damn sure don't, man.
Black don't crack, man.
So talk to me about this. Have you ever fallen off?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, what's the longest period of time that you didn't work out?
Like 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, 3 months. Yeah.
Why? Was that life or injury?
It was just life,
or
man. It was life, and then it was like 2 injuries back to back, and I couldn't do nothing for like 3 months.
What injuries?
I had a strained meniscus,
Mm.
and then right after the meniscus, I separated my shoulder. This is what me
He's
and Mike
dealing
was
with
talking
right
about.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, and that was probably worse. The shoulder was way worse than the knee. You could work around the knee, you can't work around the shoulder.
No.
You know, and I was actually like depressed when the whole thing was
You
happening.
go into a dark place during
Yeah,
injuries.
because if you want to affect me, take my ability away of like moving freely.
Yeah.
That to me is everything, man. Being able to wake up and like get out of a bed and not have any aches or pains, not have to be assisted downstairs or anything like that. Or like if I need to go reach for something, there was a point in time where I couldn't raise my shoulder past here. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
trying to get shit out of cabinets, couldn't do it.
Right.
So you take things for granted. And then once you lose it, you're like, damn, bro, like I can't do X, Y, and Z. You're like, wow.
I said that to somebody the other day. I've dealt with weird injuries and falling off, and I learned and appreciate movement so much more because of those moments of not being in shape.
Yeah, man.
Like when you're in the groove, it's like, yeah, I'm just doing this. But when you can't do it, it's like, oh my God. Like you really feel that. You feel how it impacts your sleep, your diet, and it changes your relationship. Your everyday activities become different because the people that you're hanging out with, because of what we do. Like I'm hanging out with my boys, we're going to work out, we're doing active things.
Yep.
So now I can't be active, I can't participate.
Mhm.
Now I feel isolated.
Yep, and you're missing out. You get that FOMO.
That
Bro,
FOMO,
I'm telling you, man.
I'm watching my dudes get busy, and because of social media now, they're posting, and I'm like,
yeah.
you know what? I'm feeling some type of way.
Yeah, man.
Nah,
It was killing me, bro.
And it's crazy because like I'm going through mine right now because I got my shoulder separation going on right now, and I'm feeling it, man. Like that first 2 weeks after the injury, I remember just being at the house and like just sitting there and being like, I don't want to do nothing.
I spoke to you every day.
Yeah,
I
I was
called you
miserable.
every day.
I was miserable, and
can
I'm
relate.
just getting over that hump of like the woe is me. Oh, I'm injured. Feel
Mhm.
bad for me. Feel bad for myself. And getting out of that like box or whatever that is that people get stuck in when they get hurt, and just understanding that like, yo, I gotta move. Like that's the only way I'm gonna get back to a good state of mind is through movement. And we talk about this all the time, man. Is like how that physical well-being directly correlates to your mental and emotional well-being. Like there's nothing moving
That's a bar
independent.
right
There's
there.
nothing moving
Mhm.
independently in our body or through our mind ever. Like if the physical aspect falls off, there's more stress put on the mental and the emotional state, and then vice versa.
Super
So
fast.
I'm noticing that now is just getting back into moving daily. I start to feel better.
Yeah.
Like my conversations are more positive.
I heard
now.
it in your voice.
Right.
I heard
And
it
like
in
he
your
heard me
voice,
on the
bro.
phone already when we were talking, like the first 2 weeks, I'm over here like, woe was me. Like, oh, I can't open up my car door. I can't open up the refrigerator like without cringing or something like that. And I'm like, all I'm doing is complaining, which is just compounding the negative effect on my mind. And as soon as I went to that gym that first day, I don't think I did more than 3 movements. I literally like rode the bike. I did some air squats and did some walking lunges. I walked out the gym. I was like a whole nother
Yeah,
person.
1,000 times better.
1,000 times better.
Yeah, man.
And I think people just need to understand, like, don't take movement for granted ever in whatever capacity it might be. I don't care what your standards are or where you're at in life. Like, don't ever take movement for granted because all it does is going to put more stress everywhere else. So, like, appreciate movement. Always,
You ain't
always.
lying, bro.
Absolutely. I'm thinking about you now, Jason, telling me that the longest period of time is 3 months.
3 months,
You
man.
know, some people live their whole lives like that.
Oh yeah. I couldn't even imagine.
I can't even wrap my head around it.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
could never.
look, everybody's in a different place. I get it. You know, like we love movement. Not everyone loves movement.
No.
You know, I was listening to something earlier today and they were talking about, you know, like exercise is like this new concept because before our lives were very active.
Yeah.
So, you know, people didn't exercise. After you working, doing, you know, a labor intensive job, the last thing you want to do is go
work out, yeah.
go move more. So now because we have this sedentary lifestyle, exercise is this new concept that we need.
Yeah.
So I get it why people hate exercise. But you know, it doesn't change the circumstances of our world that we're living in, that we need to do this.
Yeah, man.
We need to protect our muscle at all costs.
Yep.
Because that's going to be what? The currency of longevity.
Yep. It's
You
muscle.
hear them talking about it all
Yeah.
the time.
Yep.
So, and we can't ignore this.
Yep.
So, like, what would you tell? Do you have friends who don't work out?
Yeah, man. I got tons of coworkers that I've
Cops.
See, I was just
Yeah,
about
man.
that was going to be my follow-up question was going to be not, do you know people around you? What are your coworkers doing? And are they on the same level or close to it as you?
There's a few guys that I work with that are very active. I'm noticing now because so I'm in like that sweet spot, right? So when I got on, it was almost like the unhealthy lifestyle was more
Frowned upon.
promoted.
Okay,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
Because people was, eating bacon, egg, and cheeses, smoking cigarettes,
Yep.
Light and sweet coffees. You didn't really see dudes working out. And if you did, it was that old school
Yep.
meathead, benching, compound movements.
I get it.
you know,
Yeah.
Right. And then you started to see the shift a little bit. Dudes started eating a little bit better, moving a little bit differently. Guys started throwing in some functional exercise
Mm-hmm.
and kind of changing their MO. And I think I was like right in the middle there, because when I came on, I thought I was in great shape when I came on. And I remember going to my first CrossFit like workout, and I was humbled, bro. Like I'm in there thinking, yeah, I'm that guy. And then,
Washed up.
dude, they told me it has something to do with like deadlifts and some kind of like sprint. And I remember like pulling like 135. I'm like, all right, I'm about to knock out this sprint. I could barely run after that.
Yeah.
Dunzo.
So for me, it was just working on the weaknesses, man. Like I was always pretty decent strength-wise. I just didn't have the motor.
Yeah.
So CrossFit filled that void for me, and it
Yeah.
helped me become a better police officer. Like I got on the job with the intentions of being like a SWAT guy. That was my goal.
Yeah.
And I remember meeting a group of SWAT guys in Queens. I was at the US Open. All these dudes was monsters, bro, like all jacked. And I was like, yo, that's what I want to be.
Yep.
Mind you, I'm a 22-year-old kid. It's a very impressionable mind. I saw these dudes. And I'm like, this is the standard. I need to get myself there. And so I started training. And then when I found CrossFit took me to the next level because it made me more explosive. It made me,
More
have
agile.
more agile.
Yep.
And I had a motor.
Mhm.
And so you get a strong guy with a motor. I always tell people I'm not the most talented person, but I'll outwork the guy in front of me. So that guy in the first quarter, I'm that same guy in the fourth quarter.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
I'm gonna keep
Facts.
coming at you.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you line up, you be like, damn, this kid again, bro. Like I want you to really
That's a mental
feel-
game.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
it's a
mental
mental
game.
game. Yeah.
Because a lot of it is mental, man. Like,
Yeah.
they might have heard of you, right? But they never played against you.
Right.
So you gotta make them feel that, and just drill them every single play. And the next thing you know,
Did you guys ever play like opposite each other? Did you have to defend him?
never.
Nah.
Never. Don't want to neither.
Oh.
Don't want to neither.
I don't know if you heard the episode
Nah,
before,
nah.
but like they had this thing at Equinox where we were at the park and what do you call the drill?
We were doing like one-on-ones.
Okay.
And we were at the park, with the gym that we used to work at.
I did not play football.
Yeah.
I was a wrestler,
And,
Okay.
but I consider myself athletic.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll take any challenge. What's up? So we did one-on-ones. They put me against, and Mike, Mike's gonna talk his smack.
Yeah.
I'm like, come see me, what's up? I line up against Mike. Yo, he hit me. I don't even know what he did, but he was over there, and I was here
bro.
stuck.
He's like the perfect mix because he's fast, but he's strong as shit. So it's like when you have that combination, and then if he gets you off balance and sticks that stiff arm out there, bro, you're done. And I've seen him take guys and bury dudes into the ground.
I watched playing those videos. I saw it live too.
I mean,
it's
it's
great.
just-
I'm like, yeah, that's my boy right there.
Yeah,
What's
bro.
up?
He's
Nah,
different,
man.
man. So when you get a guy like that, like I'm pretty sure dudes line up with this dude and they're like, damn.
Yeah,
Because he's gonna bully you.
yeah.
He's gonna bully you. He's gonna get the rock and he's gonna score. So you gotta do something to either slow him down or make him think.
Right.
He's a hard guy to defend, you know what I
Right.
mean? But a lot of that comes from
Training.
training, bro.
And I think, and it's crazy because it's like we see a lot of guys when I'm out there playing flag and they think that they're gonna just be able to come off the couch and like be athletic for the rest of their
Chill.
lives.
Sounds like an injury.
There you
Chill.
go.
Sounds
Right.
like an injury to me.
And you know what I mean? And like, I want to get that across to everybody. I'm like, yo, whatever you were doing in your teens and your 20s, like you could still do it now, 30s, 40s, 50s. It just takes effort and
Yeah.
time and practice and repetition. And like, I hate a lot of the times when people say like, oh, you're a certain age, like maybe you should cool it down or maybe you
I
should
hate
turn
that.
it off.
You
or
still
maybe-
play?
Yeah, still play.
Yeah, he
man.
still plays.
I-
And
I-
yeah,
I-
he still plays. And he's not slowing down at all. That's the
Yeah.
crazy part.
You were talking about quitting when we were roommates
30.
at it was
I
30.
was not even 30 yet.
You were talking about quitting at 26, 27, 28, 29, but then you just kept getting
that's
stronger.
But that's my point, though, is that
kept
when
you in the game.
When you introduce strength training into your life, whatever limitations you thought you had, they start getting pushed back even further and further and further.
Absolutely.
Like all of a sudden, like, oh, I can squat this, so I can jump this high. I can deadlift this, so I can sprint this much faster. And like, I'm this much stronger and better conditioned to this individual. So like, you don't stop. You don't see the end game anymore. And that's what I love about strength training that we want to keep getting across to people. Is like, whatever limitations you think you got, they're no longer there. They're invisible now. Once strength training gets invested into your time.
Yep.
And yeah, man, like now at 35, like I don't even see it. And like you're gonna have to peel me off the field at this
Facts.
point now in terms of being able to go outside, run, jump, catch, and play because it's just a big part of our lives now.
Yeah, man.
Like I look up to you, man. Like the man's 41 and he's cooking.
Still cooking.
Yo, he's cooking
See,
cats.
I
And I'm
see
not
you.
exaggerating.
I see
He
you.
got highlights. He's cooking cats, and it's motivating to me because I mean we talk about this all the time. Like when I went on my Olympic lifting journey, he was the numero uno I was watching because
Yeah,
you know-
he used to tell me about you.
oh yeah,
He used to
because
tell me
I was
about
like yo son, he's Olympic lifting 300 something pounds, but then he goes outside and he's smoking dudes speed wise. I'm
Balling.
like I need that. I need that in my life, and I just want to say like real talk. I appreciate that because like.
Salute,
Yeah,
salute,
man, because
Appreciate
guess
you.
what? Even you motivated me, and then my hope is that like there's another cat or two out there who is on their journey and they see like, yo, if Iron Mike is getting it, like I gotta do what he's doing.
Iron sharpens iron. I always say that, man. When
Yeah.
you get in a room with other dudes that make you better, there's nothing better than that, man. I always say that. Like,
Yeah,
I never look at guys as competition. I always look at guys as like a motivating factor.
yeah,
Mhm.
You know what I mean? We should never be in a room wanting to be better than the next man. I wanna be pushed, but I'm not trying to be better, you know what I'm saying, than the next man. I need to be in a room with guys I can learn and grow from. And that's how you get far in life.
yep,
You know, you got to surround yourself with the right people that'll put you in a position to be a better human being.
Mhm.
You know, and I'm just thankful to be able to motivate people in that manner. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
But
awesome,
let me
man.
ask you though. So like now you're in this new realm, like you're in the 40s now. Does training change or does it stay
Oh,
the
hell
same?
yeah. Hell yeah.
Talk to us
Nah,
about that.
nah, but that's what I
Because
you know
you're ahead of the game.
because
there.
you're ahead of the
Like,
game
I'm
now.
35,
You're
35.
And there's guys, you know, and women alike who have been training a certain way through their 20s and 30s. Now, does it look different, feel different? Like what has changed now?
It
for
looks
training?
and feels different. I'm going to tell you why. So when I was your guys' age, when I was like 35, I didn't feel like I was slowing down or anything like that. I felt great.
Mhm.
37, Father Time punched me in the face.
hmm
Recovery started to take a little longer, right? So, because, you know, I used to show up to the field, do like a little light stretch and then
Oh,
just
yeah.
go get busy.
Oh yeah.
Even when I would go in the gym and lift, I wouldn't really take my
The
stretching
prehab
serious.
session,
Yeah. So like the pre and post stuff now,
Mhm.
I really have to be on. Like,
How
I
much
gotta-
time does it take you?
to get like loose and warmed up? I say like half hour, man. Like I'm doing some dynamic stretching, and then when I'm done working out, I'm doing like a whole cool down. And I'm jumping in ice baths. I'm in the sauna. Like that pre and post is everything when you get past whatever your number is.
Exactly.
My number was, like I said, like 37-ish, 38. It was like, okay. Like I went hard on Monday. I wasn't back till like Wednesday at 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So then I started to realize like, hey, I got to stretch. I got to ice my knees when I'm done. Like, I would never do that before, but now I'm like, all right, cool. And I remember there was an older dude, and I didn't know how old he was until I asked him. Because I knew he was balling when I was young, and I'm old now, and he's still balling, right? So I was like, yo, Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
He's 53 years old,
and,
cooking.
Yo,
what?
And he's still on like the circuit.
Yeah.
So what that means is
problem.
we're not talking about local leagues or stuff that's in our area. We're talking about like national tournaments.
53?
And he's still out there cooking.
Saucing dudes, bro. And I'm like, how, bro? He goes like, well, listen, man, I just stay active. And that's when I knew. So I was like the guy that was, yo, man, I think at 40, I'm gonna cut it. And then I spoke to Thomas. He said, I'm 53, bro. And when I tell you I have a problem chasing this man, I have a problem chasing this man. At 53 years old, he's still
That's
cooking,
incredible.
Bro. He's, he can stop on a dime, redirect, pick up speed. He's fast at 53. And I was like, I ain't stopping.
Somebody get this man on the couch.
Somebody
get this man on the couch.
You need to talk to, because he's been elite since I started flagging. I started flagging at like 24, 25. And he's been elite this whole time. Here I am, 41 years old. He's still elite.
He's doing about 17, 18 years, man.
That's
of
crazy,
work.
bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, how are you this good?
Movement.
The minute you stop moving, that's when you start to slowly
And some
die.
people will say genetics, but nah, it's hard work.
Yeah, but, but genetics are only a very minuscule percentage of that.
Watch this. I heard this today. Genetics loads the gun. The environment pulls the trigger. Yeah. So if he didn't put in the work,
facts,
his genetics wouldn't matter.
Yeah, there's no triggers being pulled.
If people take steroids, if they just take steroids and don't work out, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter,
right.
Yeah.
You still got to put in the work.
100%.
And at 53 years old, you're still playing at 50. We're not talking about 20-something, 30-something. Then you
high level.
High level, he's putting in work.
Yeah, he's
I want to know what he's doing. I want to tap into his mindset.
He's a problem.
Because he'll definitely drop some gems.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, 100%. He'll go. I mean, I've talked to him offline, like what he does and how he stays active. And he's really simple, man. Like he calisthenics, rides the bike, goes for a couple runs, he swims, he does a tiny bit of strength training, but enough to just maintain muscle mass and what he already has. And then he's just like, I got to use it now.
And that's the name of the game when you get older.
Right? Oh, yeah.
You spend your 20s and 30s putting the muscle on the frame. Then after that,
keep it.
It's just maintenance at that point. That's why I got on the bike. I started running. I'm swimming a little bit more. I'm doing a lot more calisthenics. I used to do a lot of calisthenics back in the day, but I'm doing a lot more now.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you need a break from the weights.
Right.
Yeah.
And for me, I had such a baseline where like I hit every number that I ever wanted to hit strength-wise. I pulled 615, 620 or 620 deadlift, 335 clean and jerk, 365 clean, 515-pound back squat. Every number that I wanted to hit, I hit. So my baseline is there, bro. I can not touch a weight and I can still back squat 400 for reps.
Yep.
Yeah. It's never an issue. You know what I'm saying? So because it's there.
We call that old man strength.
I
waited my whole life for this.
I remember I spoke to this OG in the gym. He said, man, you're not even strong right now. I remember I was like 25. I thought I was a problem. He said, you're not even strong right now, son. He said, when you hit like, he said from 28 to like 37, it's gonna be your window. And I'm like, nah, you bugging.
Yo,
I got stronger and stronger as I got older.
We talked about this.
And I was like, yo.
We talked about
that
this.
That man was right.
Yeah.
That's why if I get in a room with an older guy and he's still looking jacked, I'm like, yo, man, I need to pick your brain. What are you doing?
Right.
Because now I'm at that age where, if I work out, like I said, on a Monday, that recovery
is real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not taking the proper steps to rehab and stay, that pre-workout, prep, if you're not doing that stuff, you're gonna get hurt. You will pull a hammy, you will blow a back out. You got to do all of that stuff. And that's the one thing I'm gonna tell anybody who's getting older. Start to work on your stretching and your mobility right now. If you have limited range of motion, it only gets worse.
Yep.
And you just compounding, that with injuries.
Yep.
That's what's gonna be next. If you don't have depth in your squat, I guarantee you're gonna hurt your hip, you're gonna hurt your knee, you're gonna hurt your back. Something's gonna happen.
Yep.
So you need to start working on that now so that when you get older, you're already there and it's just maintenance.
And that's exactly like it's cool because not a lot of some people or most people, right? They'll lean towards one end of the spectrum or the other. Like, yeah, I lift, but I don't work on the mobility aspect of things, or I'm super bendy, but I don't really enjoy strength training. And I'm like, they're meant to be cohesive. They go hand in
They all
hand,
go hand in hand.
right?
Everything
Like
helps one another.
absolutely.
Even in the cardio too.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. The
you know,
aerobic aspect of things, like you can only lift to the capacity of whatever joint you're lifting on,
Mhm.
right? So if you got tight hips, tight whatever hamstrings, tight upper back, like you said, something's gonna happen.
Bound to happen.
Bound to happen. So we talk about it on one of the other episodes, is like finding the balance and filling all those cups.
Mhm.
Like you can't just fill one cup and think that that's going to be your fitness routine for the rest of your life.
Facts.
We're very specific oriented in the fitness industry now. Like this is my practice and my modality, so this is what I'm going to do.
The tribalism in
Yes.
the fitness industry,
Right.
even in nutrition, in the wellness space. Like if you're
Right.
not doing this, you're wrong. You're doing it wrong. Like
Yeah.
you're
Right.
not going to reach your goals, and it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't.
No, the people who I've seen over the years who cross train and at least dabble in multiple different fields are the ones who are in the best in shape.
They have longevity.
They perform the best. They don't get hurt, and they're doing it for years.
Mhm.
Like they don't fall off.
Yeah.
And I think we want to get people out of that mindset of like one modality happens to be better than the other.
Can't think
They
like
all
that.
have pros. They all have things that positively affect our body. We just gotta tap in. And as long as we're doing that, so I think people will be better off. But yeah, we just gotta get out of that space, man. It's crazy right now.
By the way, you helping me out a lot. Because when my wife listens to the episode, it's going to make sense why I'm at the gym for so long. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, it would take me like 20, 30 minutes
You
just
gotta,
to
you gotta
warm
get
up.
that. You gotta get loose, man. 'Cause that's
I'm
the
not
one thing
playing.
I noticed, man. Like that warm up game is real, and that cool down is real. You got to do it.
Let me ask you. So the training wise, we're kind of on the same page here. Now, when it comes to like the other aspects of your training, like your nutrition, your sleep, how you maintaining stress, because you work in a very stressful environment, right? So
Yes,
how
sir.
are you balancing the mental aspect to the training? Like there are certain tools that you have in place. 'Cause
yeah, super facts.
workouts can't just blow off the steam all the time. There's got to be other avenues that you're taking.
Yeah. So I'm a big meditator. I meditate a lot. All right. I have a life journal. So I wake up. I kind of do the same thing every single day. I wake up. I make sure I take about a half hour to myself.
Mhm.
You know, I got my little life journal. So what I do is, for those religious people out there, I open up my Bible. You know what I mean? And I got the Bible app on my phone. I get my little passage,
Mhm.
and then I got the motivation app. I look up a quote that will kind of coincide with, you know, what I just read. Or if something jumps out to me, I'll write it down. Then I kind of think on it, and then a guided meditation, which is like probably like anywhere between 10 to 12 minutes. That's my sweet spot because I'm an overthinker.
Mhm.
I can empty my brain and think of nothing and concentrate on my breathing for about 10 to 12 minutes without having to worry about.
Before checking out.
Yeah, exactly. So that I do. And let me tell you, I used to be one of those guys that made fun of dudes who did that until I started to implement it in my life. And it has helped me exponentially. You know, being where I'm from, we see a lot of traumatic things growing
Mhm.
up. You know what I'm saying? Like if you grow up in the inner city, you probably had a friend or two that, you know, was a victim of gun violence or, you know, just things like that. Just growing up in certain neighborhoods, you're going to see certain
Absolutely.
things.
Mhm.
And we don't
Absolutely.
ever sit down and unpack those things.
Mhm.
So the one thing I will emphasize and push is that us as men, you need to worry about your mental health. Make sure that you're in the right space. You need to unpack a lot of the stuff that you've seen or have experienced in your life.
Mhm.
And so, you know, me taking that 20, 30 minutes a day helps me with that, unpacking those things, you know? So if you don't have a life journal, get one.
Yep.
We talked about
Yeah,
journaling.
We talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm a huge journaler. Like,
And that's why I brought it up. 'Cause I, you know,
yeah,
I know
I'm
you guys spoke about that.
yeah, no, I'm
Listen,
very.
we didn't tell him to say this.
Yeah, we're not telling him what to
I'm
say.
telling you,
There's
like
nothing
this is
scripted here.
honest.
It
Like,
is, man. Like,
and,
this is
and-
raw,
and wow,
man.
that means a lot that you
Yeah,
said that.
man.
Like, yeah, I hope this really like resonates with people. Like, it's not a coincidence that you do these things.
Yeah.
It's not just what you're doing in the gym; it's what's going on outside the gym too.
You got to have, you know, I always say, if your mental's not right, your physical and your spiritual's not going to be right.
Yeah.
You know, so it starts from the top down. So
Balance,
you got to
man.
make sure you
Balance.
get balanced. And, just make sure y'all take that time to do that. Because I think a lot of people, we live in a very hectic, world, right? You wake up, the first thing you want to do is jump on your phone. Slow that down real quick.
Yeah.
Try not to jump on your phone right away, because that might set the tone for the day. You might read a text or email or see something on your timeline that's going to upset you, and that will affect the trajectory of your day.
Mm-hmm.
So just make sure you take that time to just be with yourself and make sure that your mental is right so that everything else kind of lines up.
Falls into place, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Wow.
I love to hear that, man, because it's like, I don't think enough of us as men and women need to hear that, is that like we allow whatever tiny stressors that have already happened like the day before affect the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have that snowball effect. And a lot of times people don't know how to get off of that. And it ends up derailing their health, their well-being, their everything, right? And as long as you have those tools in place, you're less likely to hit those speed bumps.
Absolutely.
And I think that's like, I would love for people to have those tools in place so they just don't fall off. Because there's going to be days where you fall off.
Yeah.
But as long as you have something to get you back on track, you're good.
Yep.
And
We're
that's all
human.
Yeah, we're all human, man. We're going to fall off a
We
little
have
bit.
Flaws.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely,
fallible
man.
creatures. So.
That's part of the human experience.
Yes,
Absolutely, my man.
I mean, to chase perfection is not realistic.
There's no such thing. I always say
There's
that.
no such thing. It doesn't
No
exist.
such thing.
So we just gotta partake in this human experience and learn from the people that are doing things that have been shown to be beneficial, and adapt that to our lives if it makes sense, or if it doesn't, find other tools.
Yep.
Find things that resonate with you and just like try it out. Don't be afraid to try new things. That's something that people are afraid to get uncomfortable.
You gotta get comfortable with the uncomfortable.
100%.
Yeah.
You know it.
Stay
Yeah,
out of
for
that
sure.
comfort zone, man. and
Let
grow.
me ask you though too, as we're getting here towards the end here, is like, are there any big things you got going on, you working on right now that you're excited about, or something lighting a little fire in you right now?
Yeah, I'm rebranding the podcast. So I have a podcast called Behind the Mic, and I'm rebranding right now. And I just got assigned to a mental health outreach team at work, and I noticed that that's something that we're lacking in our community, is that mental health. It seems to be a topic of interest right now. There's a lot of people, I think, there's several things that come into play with people's mental health deteriorating, but I know the pandemic had a huge role on it.
100%.
Sure.
And I'm rebranding right now because I really want to put some emphasis on that. So I got that. It's on Spotify. I haven't went over to Apple Podcasts yet, but like Spotify, Google Play, all that is there. But yeah, my podcast, man.
Tell them the name of it again.
Behind the Mic podcast.
Yeah, and we gonna support that.
Yeah,
make sure you guys check that out, because this man right here is a wealth of knowledge.
I got some big things coming, man.
That's super exciting.
I love it,
I'm
bro.
pumped.
Nah, and I again, man, we just appreciate you coming on here.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah,
Y'all
like
doing big things, man.
spreading the love, spreading the knowledge, and yeah, man, we looking forward to just tagging along on the journey a little bit, man.
Yes, sir.
We
Yes, sir.
appreciate it.
I'm paying attention to the pod, man. I'm with y'all. So, keep putting out good content. Y'all guys is putting out solid content. Y'all both good brothers, man. I just want to say thank you for having me. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
Of course.
my man. And y'all heard it here. We just here growing brick by brick, you know what I mean? Person by person. And we're just looking to keep growing this community little by little. As always, guys, Strength We Trust on all platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe, follow, share the love, man. We're going to keep this thing going. And I always forget to say myself.
I
man.
was just about
I
to
be
tell you.
slacking on that, man.
What's your handle?
And, as always, give me a follow, too, at MikeFit19 on all platforms. My man right here, Rashawn.
Wait, before we get to me, we just gonna go in order. And I apologize. We talked about this before we started the show, and I still butchered your last name. I'm so embarrassed. Jason Lacayo.
Yes, sir.
See, I knew it, but I was talking too fast. I apologize.
That's all good.
So give the people your Instagram handle so they can
The
follow
real
you.
Jumpman J, man. Spells as it sounds on all platforms.
He's wearing J's right now. You
That's
can't
it,
see
yeah,
because
you
of
can't
the
see. But he's got him on, though.
He's rocking J's right now.
OSBs, man. You had to do it.
And it's me, Rashawn English, at RISHAUN.English on all platforms.
Yeah, man. And as always, man, strength we trust, baby. Let's get it.
Salute.